Classmate is making me and other classmates sign an NDA. As the title says, a classmate of mine in college is making me and all his classmates sign an NDA. I and most of my classmates don't want to sign it. Can I be forced to sign? For context, he's a TikToker and scared of being cancelled, which in my opinion is pretty bold of him to think that he'll be famous enough for us to care, but we know that he's an aspiring industry plant. I already signed an NDA about disclosing personal stuff with my college, and I feel like my classmates' NDA isn't necessary. If I do say something about him, that's not libelous. Can I still be sued for breaking an NDA that I never signed? Update. We did not sign anything after we read all the responses on the thread. We managed to get some law professors to check that NDA, and they were so pissed about how unenforceable that thing was. Apparently it has an enforceability length of 15 years after relationship termination, which wasn't defined. We also filed a complaint to the uni for misuse of the messaging services and intimidation. Till that I need to get something for the NDA to be valid. To clarify, he had 10K followers, not the law firm. The law firm, after some research, isn't a great law firm. It's advertised on a billboard, which the law professor said wasn't a good sign for a reputable law firm. Update 2. Electric Boogaloo. I didn't expect this to blow up. I'm only a virtual, online-only, exchange student here in America, and while I'm pretty well versed with my country's laws, I didn't know how NDAs worked in America, hence why I asked this question in this forum. We retained free legal counsel with my home uni and we're getting things sorted. I only wanted to learn calculus and electromagnetics in peace, but that influencer, God, this word disgusts me, wanted to be a dick. Still blown away by the fact that lawyers can get billboards in this country. Him. Sign this you. Lol, no, that is the extent of what you need to do. As the title says, a classmate of mine in college is making me and all his classmates sign an NDA. What is he offering you in exchange for that? Because he can't make you sign a thing. Then tell him no. He can't make you sign an NDA just because he wants you to. Most NDAs are conditional. Or like, you need to sign an NDA before I'll let you know the secret ingredient for my cookies. It's called buying them from the store and pretending I made them myself. They're most common in employment or education situations where it can be a condition of employment or attending. This is because the party that wants the NDA controls access to things. Edit for more clarity *, which is to say that party can deny you something you want if you don't sign the NDA. It's usually an agreement that you comply to certain confidentiality if you are going to get access. In this case, the access is to a social media influencer's private life, something I guess. It also generally requires a controlled environment to be enforceable, or to a point the NDA needs to be specific about what, where, when it is enforced to be worthwhile. Generally though, like if you factually tell a story about what your friend did, and not even strictly factually, just a not total slanderous lie version of the story, there's no real legal room for anything at all. If you did lie, the standard of proof for libel is very high, as he'd have to demonstrate you lied more or less knowing. It would be harmful and it caused him damages, generally speaking. Similarly, there are some confidential by default kinds of speech, but you'd know if you had one of those cases already, or you're not his lawyer, clergy, whatever. He can elect not to do things around you because you have no NDA. But on the other hand, if you're sitting in the same restaurant, overhear him say, I think Hitler had some good points, and you were to tell someone else about it, there's no real leg to stand on, factual event, with no legal expectation of privacy or confidentiality. So bluntly, you cannot be forced to sign anything. He can choose to not do things around you, or not invite you to things, but he can't make you sign an NDA. Generally speaking, speaking truthfully about things you encountered in normal day-to-day life has no legal consequences, outside of where there's pretty explicit confidentiality. Thank God. He used a kick lawyer that made his NDA to be modeled like the Kardashian NDAs. His words, not mine. I have no idea what kick means, and I genuinely thought that he could sue me for something I never signed, especially for something so pointless. He used a kick lawyer that made his NDA to be modeled like the Kardashian NDAs. Your classmate is not as smart as they think they are, and you should ignore them. If they keep pestering you and your classmates, take it to the professor. What do you get for signing? Money. If not, that's pretty funny that he wants you to sign an NDA that won't be enforceable. So he can sue you if he's cancelled, which has no legal definition, for damages, that he doesn't have. But nobody can be forced to sign anything, that's silly. I mean, with a literal gun to your head, sure. But that wouldn't be binding. Don't take pity. You'll run into people like this the rest of your life, people who have really fanciful but implausible ideas and want to get other people to buy into their way of viewing the world. Wise people stay away. Just say number. No need to explain why you're saying no. If they ask for a reason, then it's the same thing that your parents used to say because I said so. They're not entitled to an explanation. No, he can't make you sign it. Ask for $100,000 in exchange. If he hopes to make it big time, then tell him $100,000 isn't a big deal. You have to spend money to make money. In what way is he making you do anything? It sounds like he's asking you to sign it. You are absolutely free to decide not to sign anything. What NDA did you sign about disclosing personal stuff with your college? That's really unusual. In answer to your question, no, you can't. If he doesn't want you to disclose something, then he shouldn't tell that thing to you. Or, more precisely, you can be sued for anything he could sue you because he doesn't like the color of your socks. But that doesn't mean that he has a legal case. He's not putting a gun to our heads, but he really is annoying about it in our class group chats. And yes, he basically wants to make himself tabloid-proof. The NDA even covers gossip about him. He really is annoying about it in our class group chats, then block him from your group chats. This isn't a legal issue, it's an annoying person issue. Does the professor or the college know about this? No is a complete sentence. No. And he can't force you to sign. Politely decline. I never sign legal documents that confer no benefit on me. What on earth would ever give you the impression someone can demand you sign an NDA and you be in any way obliged to accept that demand?